Welcome to First Date, a panel talk show on the Reader Seeks Romance channel that celebrates debut romance authors with recent and upcoming releases. I am your matchmaking host, Liz Donatelli. It is a thrill for me to introduce 4 new romance authors who will set your hearts aflutter with their August and September 2022 debut romance novels. Jen Devon, author of contemporary romance Bend Toward the Sun, recently released August 9th, 2022. Jenny L. Howe, author of rom-com The Makeup Test, to be released on September 13th, 2022. Celestine Martin, author of paranormal romance Witchful Thinking, to be released on September 27th, 2022. And ALICIA Thompson, author of rom-com Love in the Time of Serial Killers, recently released August 16th, 2022. Welcome all and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
What is something about you that people would be surprised to know? I'm going to begin with Jenny L. Howe.
Oh, rude.
She was the first person to arrive tonight, so you get
that's it. I'm going to be late from now on then. So I was a majorette in high school. I twirled baton for 6 years, actually, in junior high, too.
That is impressive.
Thank
That is
you.
impressive. I did not go to a school with a band. So whenever I hear
We were
people-
separate from the band. We were competitive.
Oh.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yes. The band kicked us out is actually what happened. The band leader and my coach did not like each other.
So there's some
the band
drama.
kicked us out. Yes, there's all sorts of drama.
I'm curious to know now what other stuff I'm going to unearth from about each of you. Celestine, you were second to arrive. Tell us something that people would be surprised to know.
I was in a competitive karaoke group. Like it was to let off steam after work, and we competed. We were the yellow team, and it was like backstabbing, and judges were being bribed. It was this whole thing, but I never lost a match. I won every single karaoke match that I went into. I won it, and I won it. We won by some grace of God. We won our regional, but then when we went to the city, like there was this whole thing with the judges being bought off. It was crazy. So most people don't know that I was once a competitive karaoke singer.
Wow, that almost sounds a little bit like Pitch Perfect, the movie that there's,
That's more real than you know.
Wow. I can't wait to okay, Alicia, you were third. So what's your icebreaker?
You know what? I can't follow those, so I'm just going to say that I've broken both my arms at separate times.
Wow, there's a story there that I hope is fun and quirky.
Sure.
Okay. Jen, tell us.
So I also can't follow those very interesting things. I think the most surprising thing about me for people who only know me online is that I'm very tall. I'm 5'11". You've seen me in person, Liz, because you were at my launch event. So
Yes,
yeah.
but you know what? You were sitting both times.
Was I?
Yes.
You didn't see me moving around.
I actually didn't see you stand. No. So
And plus this adds like, I don't know.
you're here. Well, I am very surprised.
Celestine, please write a romance about karaoke, competitive karaoke.
Yes.
I have a trunk novel. I have a trunk
Yes.
novel 100%.
Untrunk it!
Broken-hearted teacher goes into karaoke, falls in love. This whole thing with a trucker. It's a thing. I have it. It's up here.
All right.
Ooh.
Take it back out because that sounds incredible. Also, your book, I had not heard about your book, but I'm going to go buy it when we're done because it sounds awesome.
Oh yeah, no, I'm saying I've seen every one of your books. I'm like, okay, I need to get it, but my to be read pile keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Oh, yeah.
And books from 2020 is like, chick, what are you doing? Go back.
Yeah.
Please stop it. Like, I'm like,
Here's the scenario. You have just scored a meeting with book club tastemakers Oprah, Jenna Bush Hager, and Reese Witherspoon. They are giving you 2 minutes to pitch your debut romance to them. Go.
Okay. Okay, it is about angst. It is about plants. It is about messy people meeting in a very rundown vineyard in Pennsylvania. So it's not a West Coast vineyard, and it's a hot mess. So it's not a nice, idyllic place at first. And that's pretty much it. It's not super high concept. It is very character driven. It's very much in the characters' heads and hearts most of the time. It's angsty, it's dramatic, but it's also funny and cozy and steamy and found family. I think that's pretty much it.
First, Reese, I want to say Overnight Delivery is an underrated gem. So I'm going to say that. Also, Oprah, great work. Jenna, I'm sorry I don't have much to say to you specifically, but you probably have done some stuff. Okay, now on to my book, now that I've, made one of the people already not like me. So Love in the Time of Serial Killers is basically what happens to the extreme when you read too much true crime and listen to too many podcasts. And so every single thing you see through this lens of, like, he's basically Ted Bundy. But he's not Ted Bundy. He's very sweet. He's very spoony. And it's a delightful, funny romance with more Dateline references than you can shake a stick at.
Good afternoon, ladies. It's wonderful to meet you. I wanted to start off with, think about your greatest desire, the one thing you've ever wished for, and imagine that wish coming true. Would you love it? Would you hate it? Or would you just hold on for the ride? Well, that's where wishful thinking is about. It's about a witch who wishes that she was just a little bit more magical, a little bit braver, and a little bit, willing to go after the guy she's wanted since high school. And so, well, she makes that wish with her sisters and her cousin, and it's a wish out of whack. It's a wish that gets her to let down her defenses and, go for a midnight swim with her mermaid crush. And of course, it allows her to open up her heart to the possibilities of love with a little push of magic, some gnomes that are horribly at matchmaking, and just, the possibilities of creating a home. So that's what wishful thinking is about. It's like what someone said, it's like a bubbly glass of mimosas. So if you like your mimosa, I think you'd like this book.
So the makeup test is a second chance romance, academic rivals to lovers, set in grad school with two college exes who find themselves rival TAs for a mentorship with one of the prestigious professors in their graduate literary studies degree. Right. And as they compete to sort of one-up each other to win this mentorship, they also maybe fall back in love, as all good second chance romances do. And it also has positive representation of fat characters, so plus size rep, which I think is really important and something that we need more of, where the main character is a plus size woman, but her plot has nothing to do with her weight, right, losing it, gaining it, anything.
I love it! I love it! I love it! I love it! Now that you gave us a bit about your books, if you could each kindly read the first line.
Whenever it rained in Freya Grove, New Jersey, Nana, Ruth, Naomi Carraway, the matriarch witch of the family, said the same proverb to her eldest granddaughter, Lucy. You don't know how deep a puddle is until you step in it.
Intriguing first line.
It was beautiful.
Well, thank you. I love setting the scene. So I'm like, first line.
First line. First lines are important. Okay, Alicia. I hope this opens up with blood.
No, I'm already disappointing you.
No.
Obviously, a 200-pound Victorian writing desk wasn't made to be moved all by yourself.
You can't see around me. My den is Victorian styled. So right there, you mentioned Victorian. I'm there. I'm there. I'm in that room, and I'm going to continue reading.
Rowan McKinnon crouched in an abandoned greenhouse in the rural Pennsylvania darkness, trying not to pee her pants.
As someone who always has to pee, that got me.
that this first scene where she has to pee the whole time is one of the most relatable things about my book.
It's interesting because I've often thought to myself, why don't I read more about people having to pee? Right?
I will bring the bodily functions back to the genre.
I get to read from my brand new author copies that just arrived yesterday.
I saw it on social media yesterday. Yes, congratulations.
Thank you. If one more person used the word hegemonic, Allison Avery was going to scream.
Can you spell that word?
Hegemonic.
Okay, so do I dare show my ignorance and ask you what that means?
So it's like systemically powerful, basically.
Okay.
They're nerds and they're in lit theory class. So people are throwing around some big old words. It's also the first word I had to look up in grad school, which was why I used it.
So there's a little bit of a background, some personal connection to that.
Exactly.
I love it. Which tropes do you use to tell the love story between your main characters?
I think the main tropes in my book are probably grumpy sunshine, opposites attract, and like a neighbor.
Okay,
the neighbor next door type of.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Academic rivals to lovers, second chance romance, forced proximity.
Celestine, give us some tropes.
Quirky small town, because shore towns are small town. I grew up in a shore town, so quirky small town. Childhood crush, because they were each other's crushes back in high school. And of course, my favorite is always like a wish gone crazy. Like, give me the 1980s, 1990s era where people make a birthday wish and like, oh no, I'm an elephant. That's my jam. Like, yes, give me Judge Reinhold switching bodies with his son.
Fred Savage, yes.
Fred Savage, yes.
Definitely a slow burn. Opposites attract.
Yes.
Kind of forced proximity, but just in the same space, not really in like a very small space. Found family, most definitely. Cinnamon roll. Do people say that anymore? Is that one of those things that the youths are trying to get?
Yeah, they do.
Claim it.
So I'm claiming it.
Yes, cinnamon roll.
Very soft, and Rowan is very prickly. So I guess it's kind of a grumpy sunshine.
Right. Were you conscious of using tropes?
I am going to embarrass myself here, but I actually did not know the word trope until I started writing this book in 2014. So it's been a long time. And when I started writing, I didn't know what that word meant. So no, I did not just put them in. I just knew the vibes that I liked from the things that I had been reading since I was 12 years old.
Right. Where does your novel fit in these categories? Sweet, sexy, steamy, or safe word? I tried to keep the S's. Safe word being erotic, BDSM, which I don't think applies to anybody, but I figure I'd throw it out there anyway. Let's see, Jenny L. Howe, where do you fall in the sexometer?
Oh, geez. Very low on the sexometer.
Okay, so sweet.
It's open. So I would say between sweet and sexy, I guess, like open door, but not incredibly explicit.
Okay, so you want to go in between sweet and sexy, which would be swexy.
Swexy, sure.
Okay. Celestine, where do you fall? Sweet, sexy, steamy, safe word.
I would say sweet, because the next one though is definitely sexy.
This mine too.
Sweet. See, sis. Oh yeah, no, I definitely. I was like, sweet. Let me give him something sweet. And it's like a Sour Patch Kid. You get the sweet, and then you get the sour, the good sour. And so this book is definitely sweet. But next one.
Gotcha. Okay, Alicia, you're already smiling. What does that mean?
Well, I would like to see the rubric, but I would say sexy to steamy, and I'm going to round up and give myself steamy. I'm feeling generous. Yeah.
Good for you.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Jen, yours is sexy, correct? Or is it more steamy?
I would call my book steamy for sure.
Okay.
I would agree. I have read.
I would agree.
Yeah.
It's not explicit, but it is definitely steamy.
Okay. Okay.
I think it's steamier than people expect by looking at the cover.
So there are sex acts.
Oh yes.
Explained.
There's Well, the first one is edging. So a friend of mine said that it was edging to prove a point, and that was her new favorite trope.
Edging to prove a point. Well, I'm all about starting new tropes. Okay.
Yeah, it's open door, entire chapters, but I mean it's in service to the romance, so get it.
All right. I love it. Many authors claim that their characters talk to them and frequently change up the romance plot that they had originally planned for those characters. Do your characters talk to you? I'm going to start with Celestine.
I would say yes. She's like, Lucy's very much the type of person where she'd be someone I would have a tea after work with. Let's gab, let's talk. What have you been doing lately? So she talked to me in that way because most of the writing I did was mainly in the afternoon when I've been able to like do things and like kind of like gather the raw material that I need to write. So that was definitely her talking to me. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I would say that.
Danielle Howe.
So Allison tells me what she wants.
Okay.
Allison is very confident and very assertive, and so the story went where Allison wanted it to go.
Interesting. Okay. Oh wow. You said that so definitively. I'm afraid that you're being held hostage right now. That she's like
no, she's
whispering to you right now. She's like,
it's fine. She's all contained.
Okay. Wanted to make sure. Alicia.
I think Jenny L. Howe might be in the middle of a forced proximity situation over there. Yeah, my main character, Phoebe, definitely had a lot to say about just being super paranoid all the time. She was a fun headspace to be in.
I bet. Now, did it make you more paranoid about the world around you as you were writing your first draft?
A little bit, yeah. Just kind of reflecting back on all the true crime episodes of various shows I've watched over the years.
Yeah, I'm sure. Jen, do your characters talk to you? What do they say?
Most definitely, yes. Like I said, I started this book a long time ago, and so they've been with me so long that it's gotten to the point where it kind of blurs the lines if they're people that I actually know.
Interesting. Okay.
I would say Harry, my guy, is in my head more than Rowan.
Okay.
Harder for me to figure out.
Okay. All right. Yeah. What topics did you research to write your novel? Did anyone have to do some research?
I love doing research. I'm an academic person. I love it. So there was a book that I got from Rutgers University called The Jersey Shore, because I said I wanted to actually like base it in the history of the shore and like make it make sense for anyone who reads it. They're like, okay, this is definitely a town that has a lot of history going on in it. So I read that book. And there was also another book called the 4th of July in Asbury Park, which actually takes you through the same town throughout like the 1880s, then 1890s, up until today. So it's learning about like economic, the political, the social like issues that exist at the shore, and, you know, learning about like where I grew up and just actually doing it, and then saying like, okay, now what if I mash this town together with another town and then put it together, and then like doing that, and then doing also the magical systems as well. I went to the Library of Congress and looked at a lot of their extensive like folklore, especially Southern folklore, because I wanted to make sure that it was rooted in a lot of what my ancestors had. They came from during the Great Migration. So they moved after World War II. They came up to New York City. They settled in Harlem. They settled in the Bronx. And so what they brought with them were the traditions, what they believed, their folklore, their myths, their home cures that my mother still used to this day. So that's why I did a lot of research, so that when I made the Grove, I wanted to make it feel like a real place, and that real people inherited and like inhabited that area.
So Allison, like me, is getting, well, like I got my PhD in medieval literature with a focus on Arthurian and medieval romance and how they depict women's bodies. And that's sort of
Yeah.
what Allison's interests are. So my academic friends joke that I've used my dissertation more than them because I put it in this book. Like all of Allison's ideas
Right.
are like my ideas from my dissertation.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm a college professor now, so I live in the academic world. Like I built my own university, so Claymore is just made up by me, but I've taken pieces from various universities I've worked at or gone to, and all of the buildings are named after professors I had at Tufts, which was sort of when I was in my PhD. So that's like my little Easter egg.
Nice.
But I didn't have to do a lot of research just because it's set in a world I am very intimately familiar with.
Okay.
And so my second book I've been doing tons of research for. So
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Excellent. Well, Alicia, I can imagine the research you did, but maybe there's something surprising you'd like to share.
Well, actually, I had kind of going into it a bit of a lifetime of knowledge, as She's the Man would say, because I had already watched a lot of true crime. And so a lot of the references that she makes in the book to various, true crime books or podcasts or Dateline episodes or whatever, they kind of came very easily to me because I had already watched those a bunch of times. They're just references that like live rent free in my head at all times. But I did reach out to somebody who wrote her dissertation on true crime just to get a little bit of an idea of some of that experience of like, what was it like to actually go to grad school and study that and, use it as your dissertation focus. And so that was very helpful to talk to her about that.
Oh, nice.
I'm kind of like Jenny. I have an academic background in the thing that I wrote about. Mine's in biology.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not botany specifically, but ecology. And so a lot of Rowan's love language kind of matches mine. Right what you know.
exactly.
I had to do a lot of research about vineyards, about grapes. And I did a lot of research for Harry's background. Harry is a doctor. He's an OBGYN. And his background was originally he was going to be with Doctors Without Borders. And I ended up abandoning that for various reasons that I'm not going to talk about here. But I did a ton of research on that, and I had to dump it all. Didn't have to, but I chose to.
Okay.
And and so I also did a lot of research just about the medical residency experience, because there's some discussion about that. And surprisingly, the place that I got the most interesting and realistic information was on Reddit. So on like med school subreddits, residency subreddits. So if y'all, just a word of advice for anyone who's watching this, or y'all, if you are looking for information about like a realistic thing that you want directly from the source, search Reddit. I mean, it may not be completely accurate, but like, if you know what it feels like to fail a medical exam, you could probably find that on Reddit, like a firsthand account. So,
well, good tip. Who did you dedicate your debut romance novel to? And why did you dedicate it to that person? And if you'd like to read it, Jenny L. Howe.
I'm going to read the dedication because I've had it written in my head since I started querying 10 years ago. And now here it is in a book. So I'm going to read this.
Nice. Go for it.
So to my mother, who always told me I could fly, and to Kevin, who helped me find my wings.
Oh, that's really beautiful.
Thanks.
That is beautiful. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
Go for it.
For my husband, it says, for Matthew, thank you for being a wish come true.
Oh, I love that.
I know.
And it's thematic. I love it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
My dedication is for my sister Brittany, because I love you and because you get it.
Oh, did she get to read like an early draft?
Yeah, she was reading it. She had access to the Google Doc, and she would just pop in there and read it whenever she wanted. And she's always been a big supporter of my writing. She's a writer herself. We've always done a lot of like writing together. So, I mean, it had to be her.
Jen, would you mind reading your dedication?
It's dedicated to my husband. For Keith, you're my favorite.
I love that.
Thank you for sharing. Jen and Alicia, because your books have already released, do you have any advice to offer to Jenny L. Howe and Celestine as they prepare for their debut releases?
Wow. I actually posted a thread on Twitter of the things that takeaways from my first week or so. It's overwhelming in a wonderful way and sometimes not such a wonderful way. Your emotions are probably going to be all over the map that week because it's a culmination of so much of your heart and soul that there's not much that's going to live up to those expectations, those feels. But at the same time, seeing people celebrating you and receiving your work positively, that feels pretty incredible.
Alicia, what advice do you have for our romance authors with upcoming debuts?
I would say something similar to Jen. It's a lot. It's just a lot. It's really lovely, but it's a lot of like notifications. I mean, literally the notifications alone, I felt like I was like my head was gonna explode. But it's also like so nice because everybody's just saying like really lovely things, and it's all your friends and they're all screaming about you, and it feels really good. But to me, as kind of an introverted person, which I know is very common among writers, it felt a lot like a birthday party, you know, where it's just like a lot of attention and a lot of stimulation, and at the end you're just like tired and you're like, put the presents away. I'm like so tired. But definitely enjoy it, you know, find ways to just enjoy it and have fun with it. And it's really special, it's really cool, and I'm really excited about your books coming out.
Awesome. So now, Jenny L. Howe and Celestine, what advice can you offer to aspiring romance authors?
Oh my goodness, if I could go back and just like tell me, I would say write the book. Write the book. Because so much time I wasted being like, well, now just write the book. Honestly, whatever book you have in your heart, write it. You'll get better if you work at it. And, you know, ignore what's ever going on Twitter. Just ignore it. Absolutely.
Close Twitter.
It's a distraction. And I told my husband, I said, I'm taking Twitter off my phone. I'm not logging on. I'm going to write. And that's it. You finish with someone needs your book. Because honestly, so many people have been like, this is exactly what I needed right now. Right. And it means so much to me, sincerely. And the advanced readers, they're like, this is exactly what I needed. It was nice. It was bright. It was light. And I said, good. I wanted that because I was writing it during 2020. So insert the blank. And so it was like having to work from home, having to deal with all the upheaval and everything. Yeah. And I said, I just want a world where I can go, sit, go by the beach, have my iced tea, and just have a good time. So I wanted people to have that world. So write the book because someone out there will need it. And when they find it, they're going to be like, oh, thank you for writing it. And then it's like all those late nights, the way too much caffeine, it's worth it when people are like, okay, you find your people. So that's my advice.
Sound advice. Jenny L. Howe.
So mine's twofold. So first, to echo Celestine, I think to write the book you want to read. Don't worry about trends. Don't worry about what's big because it's already over once those books are published. And so like just write the book you want to read because I feel like that's the most likely place where you're going to find your voice, right? Rather than trying to write the thing that's popular. And then secondly, that no book is a waste. Even the ones that don't make it, you learn something, you grow.
Right.
And so, I mean, I have 5 shelved books. You know, this is my 6th book that's finally been published, 10 years querying 2 agents. Like I have and all of those 5 books taught me something important that got me here. So even if you have to shelve a book, it wasn't for nothing.
Right. All sound advice. I'm glad I asked that question. This is Match Game Romance Fiction Edition. So you get a point if you just match with anybody. But you get double the points if you match with me. Name a first date activity for small town lovers during the autumn season? So let's show our answers. Oh, apple picking, bobbing for apples. Does that say a town festival, Alicia?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so it looks as if I'm going to accept the 2 apples. So, and then
I don't know why my brain went there. That's a terrible idea.
Wait, what did you put down? Apple pie? Wait, what was that again, Jen?
Bobbing for apples.
Bobbing for apples. That's all right. I'll accept because you said apples. So you guys, you each get a point, and then me and Celestine, we get points because pumpkin. Yeah, that's good. I'm sorry, Alicia. It's a good idea. But
there are pumpkins at the festival. You didn't let me explain. there are pumpkins at the festival.
Name a romantic spot where lovers share a sultry kiss in a Regency historical romance.
I have to look up my spelling.
Let's see. Oh, geez. Oh. Okay, is everyone ready? Jenny L. Howe, I was concerned. I didn't see you in your chair. I thought something.
Oh, sorry. I'm getting a better marker.
Let's turn it around. I put an orchard. I don't know why I would think there was an orchard. Okay, a garden, a gazebo. I was going to say a fainting couch. And a library. You know what? I'm going to say that none of us really match because a garden and an orchard, are they they're 2 different things, right?
Yeah, they are.
Okay, so nobody matched, but you know what? I like the library. That would have been good. If you lived in a fantasy monster romance novel, which monster would be sure to sweep you off your feet?
I already know. I'm sorry.
Oof.
Okay.
I'm sorry for this answer.
Oh my gosh, I can't think of the word. I can't think of the word.
Well, you could describe it. Just right.
Draw a picture.
Draw a picture. Draw a picture.
Oh, I can't ask because you'll know what I'm gonna.
I know.
You've just asked a writer to write a description. We're gonna be allowed.
Okay, let's show our answers. I put a gargoyle. The dude from Morning Glory Milking Farm. A vampire, a demon, all good answers. But is that a monster?
Just look it up.
Don't pause it. I'm looking it up right now. Oh, it looks like some kind of minotaur or something.
Yes,
it's a minotaur.
A minotaur.
Mm-hmm.
Now
There he is.
I have to tell you, listen. It is.
Oh wow.
It is spicy, but the world building in that book is incredible.
Okay.
Celestine, I think you would like it. If you're okay with like really, really out there.
Okay.
I am.
It's an interesting read.
Well, the size of that dude's like minotaur horns are, I'm guessing he uses them to his full advantage, but
Oh my.
that's something else. Name the most romantic forced proximity situation. I'll be more specific. Okay. All right. Is everyone ready? I got snowed in a cabin, trapped in a truck during a thunderstorm. That actually sounds really hot, Jen.
Book two. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, get out of town. Stuck in an office together. What kind of office? I'm wondering. Is it real estate?
No. Mine was also shameless book 2 marketing.
Oh, I love it. I love. I'm like my mind. And one small bed. Now you're emphasizing small. So are we talking about
closer together?
Well, like how is this like a toddler bed?
Like a twin bed.
Oh, twin bed. Yep.
Well, I mean, like an abandoned toddler bed, which actually sounds worse. Okay.
You're a regular Hemingway 6-word story over there.
If Liz and Celestine planned this beforehand, because you guys seem to be matching quite a bit.
I know.
No, listen.
Another
I'm gonna say the Bronx. That's the only reason why.
Okay.
Bronx think alike. We have that.
I think so. I think there's something to that. Name a fun, meet cute scenario for a contemporary rom-com.
I don't want to give away my ideas. I was joking. Yeah.
No, I mean, you should take that seriously because I could turn around and take it and be like, oh, it's mine
Like, if
now.
you can write this, by all means, go ahead. Like,
Amusement park line, that has promise. Ordering the same seamless meal by accident. What's seamless meal?
so like Grubhub, like
Oh,
I
it's
said,
like-
I ordered Chinese, you ordered Chinese.
By
We're number
accident.
12? Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's I didn't even hear a seamless. Okay, amusement park line. Alicia, what do you got?
I got
Play-
playing hide and seek together.
Oh my God, you're both.
This was shameless self-promotion
Yes,
again.
that is book one promo right there.
Oh my
And
God.
this is just Jen Devon book promo as well. So and I got a point out of it. So who's playing?
Oh my God. Okay,
It's a
so
rom-com, though. It's not a rom-com.
I had something. I put find out your date is your cousin. But
Oh.
I'm obsessed with writing a story where you find out that the man that you're in love with is your cousin. And I've had lots of extensive conversations with my husband about what cousin can you have sex with safely. Like, anyway, okay. Well, maybe I should abandon that. Before I wrap this up, where can we find you online?
I am on Instagram and Twitter at aliciabooks.
I'm on Instagram mostly and Twitter occasionally at kisscrafter. JenDevon.com.
You can find me on Twitter at JellybeanRay. That's my handle. You can find me on Instagram at Celestine Martin Author. And you can also find me at CelestineMartin.com. I usually try to post something on there. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Jenny L. Howe.
So I can be found at jennylhowe.com. And then at Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, if you want to see me do bad videos and lots of videos of my dogs, all at Jenny L. Howe. So they're all the same.
Jenny L. You will always forever be known as Jenny L. Howe. Thank you, Jen and Alicia, Jenny and Celestine, for making time to join me on First Date. I wish all of you continued success. Happy writing to you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do you want to do a top model edit, where Tyra would come back out and have the girls react bigger?
Yes.
Let's do it.
I thank you all.
Yay.
Oh, thank you.